What's up, y'all? Back again with another video for the second time of the week. I think I posted yesterday. If I didn't post yesterday, I posted on Saturday. Today's Monday and we're rolling into almost 9 p.m. Just to let you guys know how this week's going, I haven't taken any trades. I have held on to a position since last Friday, and it's pretty much, for the most part, replenishing virtually everything that I lost last week. And that's a good start of the week. I can't complain. So I really want to talk a lot about numbers for this video. Not sure exactly what I'm gonna label it for the title, but I'm sure I'll come up with something that relates to numbers. I think that it's not emphasized enough. Like numbers, people don't talk about numbers as much as people don't talk in this industry, in the trading space, people aren't talking as much about numbers as I think that they should. So we're going to talk about numbers. For example, risk to reward. I've said this on other videos and I'm going to keep on saying it. Your risk to reward has to make sense. Um, and I think that if you are like me and you lost, maybe let's say you had a losing week. My losing week last week, I think it was, I don't even know. I'm afraid to even look back at the journal. I mean, I don't mind looking at the journal, but I just don't like looking at the losing week, the losing streak that I had. I didn't have any profitable trades last week, and I think I took about 21 trades. I took like 21 different positions, and none of them hit. But that gives you, I didn't blow my account. I didn't lose more than the cushion that I had created the week prior. So the reason why I emphasize the importance in numbers and risk management is because you can go on a back to back to back losing streak the way that I did last week, and I was down like 21 trades in throughout the week, and none of them were profitable. But it was the very last trade that I took on Friday, and then I just let it sit over the weekend, let it sit. You just let it cook, and then boom, out the gates, I'm back with the prop firm account. I'm gonna show you my prop firm account. You can see my equity curve. It literally dipped. Looks like a shark fin. Dipped straight down, then it dipped right back up. Now it's above water. So I'm gonna just share my screen real quick so that you guys can get an idea of what I even mean by that. So, um, I don't know what this is. Uh, just gotta make sure that we're only showing what should be shown, not anything that doesn't have to be shown. All right. Uh, I honestly don't know what this verification thing is, so I honestly don't really care. All right, here is me showing my screen. So this is, what is it? I'm gonna say phase two. Yeah, this is phase two of my account. This is my FTMO account. And excuse me, as you can see, so balance was from the time that this week started, balance was in the 97,000s. It was in 97,000, somewhere around there, maybe mid 97,000, maybe 97,000 point five. And or 97,500, if that's the correct way to say it. But that was because I had a 21 trade back to back to back losing streak last week. Oh, here it is, 97,689. So this goes to show you that even, I let it sit. The last position that I placed on Friday, last Friday, I just let it sit. I wasn't gonna close it just because the day ended. I literally just let it cook. Let it cook, and then throughout the weekend, we get a gap. We had a gap and the market gaps up on Nasdaq. Straight just continuing to make higher highs. So as it continues to make higher highs, I'm literally just holding the my position that I placed on Friday, which has actually been extremely helpful because now I closed a good amount. So I closed partial of the position. I don't remember the statistic, but I know it was more than 50%. Um, and with me closing more than 50%, I closed out. Now the balance is currently sitting at 99,000. So what is that? Actually, what I'll do is I'll pull it up here. I think I'm a numbers type of person. I like to look at numbers, so I just assume everybody else is the same way. You know, if you can't really show your results, then I think you're just talking. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys screenshot. I took the screenshot. It's 8:27 right now. I took the screenshot at 8:05, roughly about 15 minutes ago. Virtually 15 minutes ago. So I closed out on $1,337, which put me closer to 100,000, which is the baseline of where I started on this account for phase two with the FTMO. And I have to bring this account's equity from 100,000 to 105,000, which is only 5% of the account's equity. That's not much when you think about it. Um, so that's what I'm on the mission to do, and you guys are able to witness the process. And yeah, if anybody's copying the trades that I'm taking, the exact trades I'm taking, you should be able to get the exact same results. There's no reason why you shouldn't, unless you recklessly, put a different type of risk. I'm risking usually less than 1% on these trades. So, um, if not the same, similar results that I get. But this is not for financial purposes, just educational purposes only. Disclaimer. There's also a disclaimer in the description, so or should be. And let's look at I'm currently up $1,300 in the partial trade that I allowed to sit and let, run. So I closed out partial the same way that I did on my live account. I closed out partial. I'm gonna show you guys my entry. So I'll show you guys my entry point on here's my entry. How do we do this again? All right, let's go. I think this is it. Boom. So that's my entry. This is the 1 hour time frame. So I entered at 25,329 on Friday, and I let the market just run because I believe that the market was going to continue going up, making, higher highs. And we literally came in on Sunday with Sunday open gapped around 25,719, and then price started consolidating, jumps more, and then just keeps on, continuing to go in an uptrend. So I'm just gonna hold until I find that maybe I'm, uncomfortable, or um if I just see that there's, I mean, I guess I'm just gonna be holding until I feel like there's more sellers than buyers in the market. Sometimes I use my intuition. Sometimes I just look at market structure to see if we're trending, the trend has changed. But so far, we're in a bullish trend, so I'm gonna just stay in the market with everybody else who's pushing the market up, and I'll just allow them to do the work while I do everything else except trade because gold hasn't really been doing much this week. Um, it definitely seems very bearish. Gold this week seems very bearish. Um, but yeah. what do I want to do? So I have that $10,000 evaluation challenge that I can now make money on, but I missed out on this trade for that $10,000 evaluation challenge. So there's nothing I can really do. For now though, I'm really watching this $100,000 account because the $10,000 account, like, if I'm making money on the $10,000 account, it's not like, maybe groceries it'll pay for, gas maybe from the based on the money that I'm making that I can make from the $10,000 account, like food, gas, maybe my rent. But if I'm making money on this $100,000 account, as long as I pass phase two, like if we, take a look at what these people are making on these $100,000 accounts as like a 90-10 split, or maybe even, I don't know if FTMO does 100,000 or 100% of a split, but if you take somebody that is doing a 90 split with an evaluation challenge or prop firm, 90-10 split for 100,000 is pretty reasonable. Like, collectively, I mean, if you are doing 90-10 and you make $10,000 on a $100,000 account and you keep $9,000, the $9,000 could last you a good amount of time, you know, versus $900, right? You make $1,000 on a $10,000 account and you only get to keep, let's say 10, you keep 90% or even 100%. $1,000 nowadays just literally slips through the cracks as if it never even came. As if you never even received $1,000 nowadays. So it's almost like you need to make 10x whatever you were making before and thought was comfortable, because nowadays you got two things that's chasing you. You got the dollar going down and devaluing, decreasing in value. And then you've also got inflation. So with those two things, and then if you've got interest that's also running you down, those are three things that's chasing you. Not everybody has interest and stuff like that. Some people still live the life that Dave Ramsey has always spoke about. But if you're somebody like me who would rather not take advice from Dave Ramsey, not completely block out Dave Ramsey's advice, take a few concepts that he has applied to your life. But maybe you're like 80-20 kind of like me, maybe 90-10 or even 70-30 with Ramsey on the, 70-30 spectrum of your concept or your philosophy. And then the rest of the percentage, you got 70% on this side, and you're like, Robert Kiyosaki's philosophies and concept or ideas, applying it to life. But yeah, that's just, real case scenarios. Yeah. And I mean, I've I've watched so many videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and I've taken so many different courses and stuff like that. Like I've even spent over $3,000 on a course and stuff like that. But what I found was there wasn't much of a difference in what these people are teaching. Everything is pretty repetitive. There's slightly differences, and the slight differences that they have are certain people going way too deep into technical analysis for my comfort. Like thinking that they're going to be able to catch the market on the specific price point before it goes in the direction that they're anticipating. And I think with human behavior being a huge fundamental aspect of the way that the market moves, I think that it's nonsense to believe that you can specifically predict exactly when price is going to move in your direction and then be confident enough to hold for, I mean, unless you know, hold it for a good amount. But if you're just looking to get in and out of the market for 1-to-1 risk to rewards, 1-to-2 even risk to rewards, I find a pattern, and it looks like the pattern is the people who are doing the short scalps and even going on live doing scalp trading. I just find that these people and one of their I, I go to the boxing gym, and one of their marketer's friends goes to the same boxing gym that I go to. And I asked him about like the people in the space because he told me that he knows people specifically. Then I named names for, you know, the types of people that are heavily online and marketers or marketing for their trading business. Um, and he's saying, you know, these people don't make as much money as you may think that they do in trading. Most of the money that they're making is from course selling. And it's not hard to believe, especially because on the time frames that these people are trading on. Like they're going live, taking trades on, you know, like these small time frames, looking for these 1-to-1s or 1-to-2s, risk to rewards, and to be long-term profitable, that's a that's a strange way to be long-term profitable. A non-strange way, a way that is not strange in any way at all, a way to be long-term profitable would be to successfully market to people your trading course, right? Because there's going to be tons of people that are looking to trade nowadays. They don't want to go to school, like, you know, maybe ADHD, ADD kicks in and stuff like that, and they just lose interest in all these different ideas that people are trying to push onto them, stuff like that. And, you know, if you can make some money in the market and then go about your day, my point of view on that is who doesn't want to do that? Like, me personally, even if I was a doctor or anybody like that, I would want to learn. I think if I was a doctor, not speaking for every doctor, but I just think if I was a doctor, I might be interested in, you know, a different source of income like trading where you can just look at numbers a little bit. Because realistically, you know, this is all about numbers. Doctors, doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, you're an artist, you're an LPN, you're a travel nurse, you're an insurance agent, you're a realtor, you're almost like virtually anybody in any industry, you're likely going to be looking at numbers. You're likely going to be opening up either, if not your bank account, maybe your crypto wallet, your ledger. Like you're looking at numbers at the end of the day. No matter virtually who you are, you're looking at numbers. So at the end of the day, it's still a numbers game. And I see that that's just the way that I see things. And some people might argue with that, but that's just the way that I realistically see everything nowadays. And yeah. So furthermore, I'm gonna continue holding on to Nasdaq until I find that there's more sellers than buyers in the market. And I just think that that's the best thing that I can think of in how to get extremely wealthy nowadays, leveraging other people's money. OPM, you're leveraging, like, let's say if you were to consider Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy instead of Dave Ramsey. Robert Kiyosaki teaches about OPM, other people's money. So using other people's money would be like getting credit cards, you know, and investing into, let's say you get a business credit card and you invest into a business, that's OPM. If you use a funding company or a funding like a, you know, an evaluation or prop firm company like FTMO, then you're using other people's money, but you're using your skill set in order to get access to funding. So, you know, you run up on this $100,000 account, $10,000, and they give you a 90-10 split. You take 9,000 because you're good at a skill. Out of 9,000, you can invest maybe 30% of it into more prop firm accounts. And then the same, and that's when like this is you just start scaling like excuse me. I don't know. I don't know why I took so long to start doing this, but I mean I do know why, but I don't know where my other phone is, probably in my bag, but now I'm like about to start scaling now. You got one phone, two phone here, another phone in my book bag, and then now we're just gonna start going crazy on prop firms as long as I once I get paid out on these funded accounts, I'm just gonna invest them back into the business. Money, insurance, like money that I'm collecting from insurance, I'm just, it's paying off my bills and stuff like that. I use it for like bills and stuff like that. Roth IRA, stuff like that. Long-term investing, stuff like that. But this is business. Like now we're getting into the, you know what I mean? Like now we're getting into the market because from experience, no matter no matter how much people, maybe, colleagues and stuff like that, or friends, family might say that they, got your back. I just think that you genuinely, even if you have a partner, anybody, like I just feel like nobody's gonna have your back as much as you are. Like your life is in your own hands. So take accountability, be responsible of your own life, and you don't know how much time you got here. So let's run these numbers up. Like if you haven't even joined my free Discord, I don't know what you're doing. Let's run these numbers up and let's just go crazy. Like now, and we're pushing into the end of the year. Last year and I think the year before, I didn't really participate. Actually, I was I was going. Mm, I think last year around this time, I yeah, I didn't really trade. I wasn't really trading. I was more so in the learning phase because I was going through courses and stuff like that, still trying to understand the market and stuff like that. Because it's been like 6 years, and even at 6 years, I still make mistakes, and I'm not perfect. But it's just a lot of improvement that happens year after year, month after month, week after week, and day after day. There's always that, um that next level that you can go to. Like I've always thought, even if you did an improvement of 1% per day, there's 365 days in a year. So that's 365% that you've gotten better at the end of the year when the time comes. And you can look back at that and say, hey, at the end of the year, you can just say like, wow, every single day this year, I made sure that I improved at least 1%, which means I'm at least 36 or 365% better than I was since this year started. And that's the reason why I continue reading day in and day out. Usually I don't go a day without picking up a book and reading a few pages. Now I'm starting to improve the amount of time it's taking me to actually read these books. Because at first, reading books and stuff like that, honestly, like I took this I think it was like ELS or ESL class in like elementary school because it's like English as your second language. So I think it was ESL. And I'm from America. Like I was born in New York. So for me to take a class like ESL, English second language type class, but being a citizen born and raised in the US in New York, but not really even having good reading skills to now reading books every single day. It's when I first started reading, which I think last year I started reading. It was definitely different, very different at first. I had to pick up like momentum and not be too slow with reading and stuff like that. I started like the more you do something, the more you do anything, you get better at it. So it's been a little bit easier to go through, cut time in half versus before while reading. So that's been great. I can definitely end this year off and say that I've invested a quite amount of time reading, and essentially that's made me a better reader. So if that was the only thing that I got out of this year, I'd be more than grateful. But I'm sure that there's more, way more to accomplish. I doubt, I mean, I don't know about becoming a hedge fund manager just because I've read about hedge fund managers, and I've even listened to podcasts with or ex hedge fund managers, and I've heard them say like, that they were trading their own account and they got sued, what, maybe over $50 million while making this lady turning her money from a couple tens of thousand to over $1 million, um, which is a good return on investment in such a short period of time, based on what he said. But he still got sued for, tens of millions of dollars. Um, she didn't win. The judge threw out the paperwork, but that's his story about, what really did it for him in being a hedge fund manager. So, if you're looking for the market like I am to be your out in, the system, then and take back your freedom and stuff like that. My personal view on being a hedge fund manager is, you know, still being accessible to the legal actions that people can take on you just for trying to make them money, which is typically, I won't even talk numbers, but all the numbers, honestly, all the numbers you guys can already see. I openly and transparently show you guys everything. What I mean by that is look at my TradeZella. Here's my TradeZella account. Look, last week, this is the document, this is the journal of my live account. So you can see I opened this account September, I think it was the 16th. Uh, yeah. October, this is how October's been. You can see like I'm fully transparent. The week before this, I only had winning days. Like, but then the week after, you can see I think the entire 17% got wiped out. And that's the video. If you guys have my Instagram account, AntR2R, or yeah, AntR2R, you'll see that I posted a video about how I lost like all the cushion that I made this week. I lost it in this week right here. But now you can see we're starting to pick up the pace and get that cushion that we made back. Um, yeah, get that cushion, capture that cushion that we made back so that we can continue going in the uptrend. And yeah, continue going up. So yeah, that is my thoughts. But yeah, 7% more than 7% just because I closed partial and I got more, position running. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. And like, comment, subscribe on this video if you guys haven't. Excuse me, join the Discord already. I have an education hub channel. So I usually, if not on a daily basis, typically every other day, I'll put I'll invest time to just drop valuable information that I hold in my core values or in my core beliefs in the Education Hub channel so that you guys are able to just freely look into it, read about it. There's a few books in there that I recommend reading that'll help you tremendously. And because I've read each of the books any book that I put in the Educational Hub channel, I've already read myself. And I wouldn't suggest you or anybody else to read any books that I haven't personally read myself. So if I find that it's helpful, and if you guys currently see or previously have seen from other videos, that have helped me because I've been documenting this journey. If you've been following, then you would know I've been documenting this journey into becoming a successful trader or profitable trader since last year, probably November. And it looks like it's starting to pay off. So if this isn't as transparent as you think it could get for you, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not gonna be one of these people though that are gonna live trade in front of the computer because I don't even like staring at the charts. I just set alerts so that I know when price is at a certain price, so that I know if it makes sense, doesn't make sense to get in the market based on what I'm seeing on both the ends of buyers and sellers. Like I look at it as a tug of war. If I see that buyers are winning the market at my point or area of interest, then I might start buying. If I see in the tug of war I'm seeing sellers start taking the lead, might start selling at that point of interest. So that is my take on everything. And scalping for one-to-one, one-to-two risk to rewards. For example, willing to risk $50 for $50 as a one-to-one, or willing to risk $50 for $100 as a one-to-two. I just don't personally take those type of trades as an A plus or B plus setup, you know? Um, so maybe as a C plus setup, but not really A plus B plus setup. So I think those are, just these are just rundown numbers that I'd like to show you guys. I'll share with you guys, this should be a screenshot of my live account. So what I did here was if I can find it, maybe did I not screenshot it? Okay, let me screenshot it here. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So as you guys know, I've been taking the same exact trades on my live and also taking them on my prop firm account. So you guys should be able to see this. Open with preview and make sure that I can share it. I don't know if I can, but okay. So this is my live account, 8:53 now. I just took a screenshot. It's 8:54 at this minute. You can see my account's balance is 38.38, equity 39.68 if I close this position. This is the one that I've been holding since last Friday, but I took partials on it. And then I'll show you next the how today looks. Today's Monday, so screenshot that real quick. Again, I haven't taken any trades, and my trade zealot should be able to prove that, but I haven't taken any trades. Hold on. I have not taken any trades this week. All right, so this here, my friends, are where is it? I think this is it. This here, my friends, is the partial that I took. And I think last week I lost like maybe $600, which was, the cushion. I think that was about right around the cushion. Maybe $100 less than what I made prior to that week. So this week I'm pretty much catching back up and making that cushion back. Um, I already made $255, closed on that. I had like 218 sitting in my Coinbase. I did a small transaction, sent it from Coinbase to my broker, invested it into my account. Um I figured I haven't been losing money, my own money, because if I look back at since this account has been created in September, if I backdate and look at how much I've made since, it'll say I made 785. See? 785. Like you'll see all the L's that I took from last week, and then you can see these, but I don't know, it's kind of blurry, not important, but 785, and it says that I deposited $3,059. So let's take note of that. Because this is a numbers video. This video is intended to speak about numbers. So I'm gonna give you guys exactly what I want this video to be about. Um, all right, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, so um mine's 38, 38. Okay. So 3,059. 3,059 is from the start value to where it's at now, which is 83.83 or 38.38, my bad. That's a 25% increase. Hmm. Not including deposits. The number that I did was I started with the deposit in total, which is 3,059 is what I've deposited from the time that I opened the account until now. Now, with the value being at 38.38 currently, that includes my wins and my losses since then. And obviously, my wins exceeded the total amount of my losses, which gives me, the total profit of about $785 from 3,059 plus 785.80. It gives me about a 25% increase in my account's equity. If I was trading a $100,000 account and I made 25% on a $100,000 account, that would be $25,000 that I would have made from September till this date of October 27th. And if I did, let's say, worst case scenario, I didn't get to keep 100% with the prop firm, that means that I would keep what, 25% of 25,000, 25% of 25,000 is, uh, I'm bugging out. 90%, my bad. $22,500. That's a salary right there. Um, yeah, but so yeah, I'm trading live account. I'm trading my live account. I'm also trading prop from accounts. That's just a little rundown about what I'm doing now. But yeah, again, I don't really see any movement happening right now on I mean on gold, but I don't know. There's a possibility if I see that price comes around 4,000, what 4,000? What is this? Here, let me show you guys. I see that there's a daily low here. Yeah, I see a daily low here. I'm not exactly sure what the market is intending right now. 1 hour time frame, I mean, I don't really rely on the EMA, but if I see that almost every time frame is like below EMA, then I'll be like, all right, you know? But the fact that I'm seeing daily low is right here. I'm looking at daily low right here. And then we drop to the 4 hour, 4 hours bearish. Then we look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame is also bearish. I don't exactly know what to think because my thing is if we get this candle to get engulfed, then I might look at this I might look at the sellers differently. Like I might start looking at, the buyers in more demand. Like that's why I have an alert set right here. So let's see if we can get that. If we can get that, I'm gonna put minimum risk on it because if anything, if I'm wrong, wouldn't hurt me if I do small risk on this potential trade idea. So this is the only potential trade idea I can find for you guys. I mean, besides UK 100, I'm still waiting for price to come down around this point. More so right now, it's a price is accumulating, but it's just ranging. That's what it seems like for me. I just see a lot of price ranging, and hopefully we can get it to touch the EMA. And once it touches EMA, I might consider, I'm gonna look at the tug of war match between buyers and sellers to see what I might, you know, lean towards doing. Most likely buying, and if it's not most likely buying, then it's, can you guess? Not taking the trade at all. Because what I won't do is go against the trend. What I won't do is go against the overall trend is what I won't do. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you guys for watching the entire video. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys learned something from this video. And join my free Discord. The link is right below. You guys are more than welcome. Um, and again, I hope you guys learned something from this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy trading. Good luck on your trading journey. And thanks for watching.